What's up, guys? Welcome back to the poker vlog. Watching Rob Poker here. We're going to be playing some 2-5 no limit at the Win today. 1500 max, one of my favorite places to play. I think you're going to enjoy this one. We got a little bit of everything. Some all-ins, bluffs, aces, bad calls, good calls. So should make for an interesting vlog. Hope you enjoy it. Let's get started at the Win.
Okay, we buy in for 1,000. Can we keep the streak alive? About 5 minutes after I sit, I pick up ace queen from middle position. $10 straddle is on from the button. I raise to 30. The hijack, button, and small blind all make the call. We head 4 ways to a flop of 10, jack, 8, rainbow. Small blind checks. I love the flop here with 2 overs and a double gut shot. I think I can bet small or just check here. I opt to check because the board is pretty connected and I have 3 opponents to get through. So it checks through to the button, who bets 80. Small blind calls, and I have a pretty easy call here, drawing to the nuts. The hijack doesn't think that's enough though. He sticks in the raise to 400. So that's not great news. Back to the button, who jams in his remaining 1,000. Small blind folds, and it's back to me. We have an easy fold now. We're probably only drawing at a king, so not looking to get it in 3 ways here on this flop. So I make the fold. Hijack calls, and the board runs out 6 of hearts, 7 of clubs. Button shows queen 9 for flopping the nut straight and takes it down.
Queen 9.
Next we pick up 9, 10 of clubs. 2 middle position players limp, and they must be punished. I raise to 25. Folds back to the limpers, and they both make the call. 3 ways to a nice flop of queen 8, 4, all clubs. We flop a flush here with a straight flush redraw. Both players check to me. I like betting here to make any bigger clubs pay for the draw, and we might get called by some top pair holdings. Who knows, maybe someone has bottom set. I bet 35, and both players fold. The very next hand we pick up 2 jacks. Under the gun plus 2 limps, and I make the raise to 20. Folds around to the small blind, who makes the call, and the limp around my right makes the call. So we had 3 ways to a flop of ace, king, queen with 2 clubs. Not looking good for 2 jacks right here. Small blind checks, and player on my right leads out for 30. Seems like an easy fold here, but let's pause for a second. This player did give me some information earlier. I raised pre-flop with a small pocket pair. Flop came ace, king, jack, and he led right into me, but did show top pair of aces with a 7 kicker, so this feels familiar. We are also blocking hands like jack 10, and I have a backdoor club draw, so this feels like a great spot to stick in a raise here and try to take down the pot instead of just folding. I make it 100. The small blind folds, and back to the original bettor, asks how much, and he quickly makes the laydown. About 10 minutes later, we pick up pocket 8s in the cutoff. $10 straddle is on the button. It's folded to me, and I put in the raise to 30. Only the straddler makes the call, and we go heads up to a flop of 7, 4 deuce rainbow, about the best flop we can hope for with pocket 8s. I lead out for 40, and he quickly raises to 100. He has about 1,500 in his stack, so I'm definitely going to look him up here. I'm really only worried about him defending with maybe 4, 7 suited. Maybe he does have 9s or 10s, but not sure he's sticking in a raise here, so I make the call, and let's see what he does on the turn. Turn is a deuce of hearts, so it's a great card for me if he did defend the straddle with a 4-7 suited hand. Not good if he has a deuce 7 or deuce 4, but if it is 4-7, we are back in the lead. I check it over to him, and he doesn't slow down. He fires out a bet of 170. I make the call here, and the river is an ace of spades. Not a great card because he could have hands like ace 3 or ace 5, so I check, and he does give up, checks back. I show the 8s, and they are good. Another reason I continued was because of how quickly he raised me on the flop. It felt more of like, you don't have any of this board, so I'm going to stick in a raise here type of bet. Okay, so from that last hand to this one, we pick up 6 new players, basically have a table change. I pick up ace jack from plus 2 and raise to 15. Player on my left calls, and everyone else folds. Heads up to a flop of queen jack 7, rainbow. I bet out 20, and my opponent quickly min raises to 40. So for 20 more here, I make the call with some bad intentions on future streets. We get a 3 of diamonds on the turn. I check, and player bets 80 now. I go into the think tank for a second to try and figure out what he is most likely holding. Would he min raise the flop with a set of 7s? Unlikely. I have ace jack here, so it's more likely he has a hand like king queen, maybe queen 10, but the question is, can we get him off of it? But before we try, please hit that like and subscribe if you think we should raise here. I appreciate the support. Okay, back to the action. I put out the check raise to 220. This is exactly how I would play jack-jack here, so let's represent it. Opponent goes into the tank now for 20 seconds or so and decides on a call, but seems a bit uncomfortable. Let's hope he's not setting the trap here because I'm set up for a huge bet on the river now. River is a complete blank, deuce of clubs. I have to continue with my story to win now. I fire out an overbet of 600. He goes into the tank for 45 seconds before finally making the laydown. Nice. I think that was my biggest bluff of the vlog so far. I try to choose these spots very carefully in these deeper stack games. If your story doesn't make sense, players will pick up on these bluffs. And honestly, if your story does make sense, you might still get picked off. So happy this one got through. Oh, hello. So I'm in the game for 1200, have about 1600 in front when I pick up the best hand possible. 2 aces from the small blind. In the last 40 minutes, this game has gotten amazing. Nearly every hand has been 3 and 4 bet with multi-way action. If you are new to the channel, we have picked up aces at least once every session since I started the vlog, and they are undefeated thus far. Okay, so under the gun opens 15, plus 1 calls. It's folded to me. Normally I'll 3x raise here and add the dead money. I go a little bigger here since the game is playing big, and I'm in the worst position. I 3-bet to 75, hoping to narrow down the field. It does not happen. The big blind cold calls 75, under the gun and plus 1 both call. So here we go, 4 ways to a flop of king, 9, deuce, rainbow. This is about as good a flop I can hope without an ace. I feel okay leading out here for 140, which is just under half the pot. Only the under the gun player calls. He started the hand with 1500. I'm already a little concerned of pocket nines because I don't think he has many king queens or king jacks here, but at the same time he might, given the fact that the big blind called 75 might have enticed him to call with a king queen, king jack suited hand. So heads up to a turn card of the 5 of diamonds, total blank. I decide to check here for pot control, and he does not. He senses weakness and bets out 300. I'm not going anywhere with this drive aboard, and I've underrep my hand now by checking the turn. I make the call, and the river is a 7 of hearts, another blank. So now what do we do? Check or bet? If I bet, it will fold out all of his bluffs, if he is bluffing, by some small chance. And if he has a king, he may still go for value. And of course, if I'm beat, he'll be going for value. So I decide on a check here, planning to call any bet, and he does. He fires out a bet of 500. Looks like a value bet here, so I just make the call, hoping it's not pocket nines, and he shows ace king of spades for top pair of kings. Whew, so pretty much just a cooler for him, as it's difficult for him to put me on aces, and vice versa. I don't really think he has ace king, just flatting pre-flop, and the fact that I have 2 aces. So we scoop in a big one, and aces somehow remain undefeated in 10 consecutive sessions. Alright, about an orbit later we pick up ace king from middle position. We're doing a round of under the gun straddles, so it's $10 to call. It's folded to me and I make it 30. Only the button and straddler make the call, so 3-way action to an above average flop of ace, ace, jack. Not only trip aces with a king kicker, but we have the club redraw. First player checks. I put out a small bet of 35. I think that's a little more deceptive than checking. And I want to keep in some ranges of some straight draws, maybe pair of jacks, or maybe a player will not believe me and make a play on a future street. So I want to get some money in the pot here. Only the button makes the call, and we are heads up. Turn is a jack of hearts, giving us a full house now. No sense in betting here, as it's less likely he has a jack now, so we want to keep the bluffs in. I check, and he checks back. River is a 7 of diamonds, blank, only losing to quad jacks now, so I continue for 100, hoping to get a call from a jack, possibly even king high. He does make the call. I show him the goods. He said nice check on the turn, so I'm guessing he did have bottom end of the full house there. About 5 hands later, we pick up king jack suited on the button. Under the gun straddle is on, 1 player limps, and middle position player raises to 40. We are plenty deep here to just flat in position, so I make the call, and it's back to the straddler, who 3-bets to 135. He has been playing a wide range of hands, so when the original raiser just calls, I'm definitely jumping in here for 95 more to close out the action. So 3 ways to a flop of ace 3-5 with 2 diamonds. The straddler leads out small for 135, same amount he raised to pre-flop. Middle position player folds, and it's to me. It's a great price to just call right here, and that's what I do. We are heads up now to a queen of spades on the turn, giving us a gut shot for Broadway. He tanks for a little bit, gives me a stare, and then checks. And he looked kind of concerned, so I feel like that gave me the green light to continue with a bet here with a semi-bluff to get some medium pocket pairs to fold. We definitely don't want to lose to those on the river. I make a bet that looks like I want to call. I bet 225, right about a third of the pot, and he quickly makes the laydown. So we are cruising along here, up about 2,000. I'm thinking of locking up this win in such a volatile game, but it's too good to leave, and I'm off work tomorrow, so let's keep going. About an hour goes by of cold cards. I lose back a few hundred with an open-ended straight draw and a multi-way pot, still up about 1,800 before we pick up pocket fives here in the cutoff. Early player limps, middle position raises to 40. I call, and it's back to the straddler who 3-bets to 145. Same player from the last hand, and he just lost 1,500. The original raiser calls, and I make the call in position looking to hit a set. 3 ways to a flop of ace, king, 4 with 2 diamonds. Both players check to me, and I'm happy to check back here. Turn is a deuce of diamonds. Both players check again. I still don't think I'm any good here, hoping to just hit a 3 or a 5 on the river, maybe even a diamond. Probably not putting any more money in this pot. But the river is an 8 of diamonds, putting 4 diamonds on board now, and we make a flush that I feel could be good with all of this checking going on. First player checks, and now the middle position player fires out a near pot-sized bet of $420. I could easily lay this down and save $420, but I start thinking, I know this is a capable player. These large bets are usually made with the nuts or air, so likely nothing in between. I'm a little suspicious that he checked the turn with nut flush draw, and another factor is he has not been able to drag a pot this whole session, not been running well. So with all that information in mind, I decide on a super light hero call here, hoping to catch a bluff, but it's not. He shows me the goods. King, queen with the queen of diamonds for the nuts. Gets max value from the fish here, which is me. Nice hand, sir. Alright, I play one more orbit. The game's not as good as it was. I think I dumped enough back. We are up $1,324. Still a great win for a 3.5 hour session. Let's book it for our 10th consecutive W. See you at the end of the video.
Alright, that's it guys. I appreciate you checking out episode number 10. Please hit that like and subscribe if you haven't already. And join me for episode 11. I don't know where I'm playing next, but let's see if we can keep this streak going. Unbelievable run right now since we started the vlog. Hands are holding, aces every session, so it's going pretty good. As always, at the end of each video, I put my stats right here, so you can check those out. Hourly is looking pretty good right now. If we can be anywhere near $40 per hour by next November, I'll still be happy. So obviously we're well above EV right now, but who knows? We can go on a streak for, there is no end. It could go forever. No. Please leave any feedback or comments down below in the comment section. Always happy to get back to you there. At the end of each video, I like to put a trick shot on there. That's what I do for my short videos. Some card throwing, some trick shots around the house just for fun. So stay to the end for the trick shot. Tune back in next Sunday, 8 a.m. Pacific time for episode number 11. Can we keep the streak alive? Alright guys, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. We'll see you next time.